Your quiet joy matters in this life, like a softer color in the light. Every time you let your shoulders loosen, every time you taste a little bright. Your quiet joy matters in this crowd, like a candle hidden from the loud. Nothing small about the way you soften all the edges of this buzzing town. Close the busy calendar on your phone. Let the numbers stand a while alone. Ask your breathing where the warmth feels deeper, not the clock that keeps on talking steeper. Every time you pause to hear the bird song, every time you smile at passing strangers, you are sending signals through the morning, changing quiet courses without wagers. Your quiet joy matters in this life. Hold that sentence close and tight. Pour a glass of simple water, let it catch the kitchen light. Your quiet joy matters in this crowd. When tomorrow feels too loud, you can lift one little corner just by letting joy speak out. slightly duller. Getting through is also grace, standing up and reaching place, taking one slow breath in line is a kind of sacred sign. Getting through is also grace, showing up with tired face, nothing cancels what you bring when you barely do a thing. Later at a desk beside the glass, emails gather in a crowded mass. Coworker asks if you feel together, you just smile and talk about the weather. Yeah, you hear a memory from last autumn, when a cousin thought their strength was rotten. You stayed near while they just stared at ceilings, called it brave to keep on holding feelings. If that story carried now your name, you would sing the very same refrain. So you let those gentle words return to the parts that twist and pull and burn. Getting through is also grace, standing up and reaching place, taking one slow breath in line is a kind of sacred sign. Getting through is also grace, showing up with tired face, nothing cancels what you bring when you barely do a thing. Leave the polished checklist on the chair, let the ink drift where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like peace, not the loud demand that will not release. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every time you do not feel it all, you are hearing signals from within, pointing where a softer day begins. Getting through is also grace, hold that sentence in this space, pour a glass of simple water, offer it like quiet honor. Getting through is also grace, when tomorrow shows its face, you can meet that steady light, knowing staying was a fight. Morning light draws lines across the floor, half-packed boxes waiting by the door, old receipts lie crumpled on the table, dates and numbers blurred beyond the label, heart still flinches at a certain song. Tiny echoes saying took too long. You stand quiet in your cotton sweater, wonder if you should be feeling better. If a friend confessed this tender state, you would never say they healed too late. You would tell them time is not a judge, you would guard their wounds from any nudge. bus stop timetable begins to fold. Next to you, a stranger wipes their eyelids, says they wish they felt more normal with it. You remember nights beside a cousin's window, listening to cars in amber shadow. They kept asking when the hurt would finish. You said storms do not obey a limit. If that story carried now your name, you would hum the very same refrain. So you let those gentle words return, touch the places where your memories burn. There is no deadline on your healing, no exact to prove revealing. You can take another season to untangle every reason. There is no finish line for feeling, just a field for slow unsealing. Nothing breaks because you stay in the middle one more day. Turn the clock face gently to the wall. Let the ticking soften in the hall. Ask your breathing where it feels less tight, not the calendar that shouts at night. Every time your shoulders start to loosen, every tear that dares to start its movement, you are reading signals from within, showing where new softer days begin. There is no deadline on your healing. Hold that truth when doubts are stealing. Pour a glass of simple water, let it cool your inner border. There is no finish line for feeling, just a field for slow unsealing. When tomorrow starts to rise, you can meet it with kind eyes. Slowly up the wall, half amok sits cooling by the hall. Unread letters stacked beside the socket, old receipts asleep inside your pocket. Heart keeps whispering you missed your turn. Memories flicker, twist and quietly chair, watching this new day unfold its air. If a friend described this tangled view, you would list the hope still bright in you. You would tell them nothing bars the door. They can start from where their feet touch floor. You can begin from here with a breath that meets your fear, with a glass of simple water, with one step that feels in order. You can begin from here, even if the way seems unclear. Nothing can You can begin from here. Hold that sentence in your ear. Pour a glass of simple water. Offer it like quiet honor. You can begin from here. When tomorrow comes more near, you can meet the rising year, knowing you began from screen glows softly in your hand. Endless photos from another land. Graduations, houses, shining tables. Perfect captions under perfect labels. Heart feels smaller than a tiny frame. As you scroll through every borrowed name, you breathe in and lean against the wall. Wonder if your life is late to call. If a friend described this aching view, you would list the quiet things they do. How they show up when the night feels longer. How their kindness makes the pathway stronger. Your story has its own time, not a copy, not a line. You can plant a seed today, even if the field looks gray. Your story has its own time, not behind and not ahead. It is written as you breathe, in the steps you choose to tread. Later at a cafe by the street, coworker counts milestones on a sheet. Says their friends are ticking every marker while their pages feel a little darker. You remember nights beside a cousin when they thought their chances all were done. You saw sparks beneath their quiet sorrow long before they reached a softer tomorrow. If that memory wore your own first name, you would sing the very same refrain. So you turn that gentle truth around, let it settle on your common ground. Your story has its own time, not a copy, not a line. You can plant a seed today, even if the field looks gray. Your story has its own time, not behind and not ahead. It is written as you breathe, in the steps you choose to tread. Close the glowing window in your palm. Let the room return to simple calm. Ask your breathing what would feel like peace, not the chart that never seems to cease. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every time you answer something small, you are hearing signals from within, pointing where new chapters can begin. Your story has its own time. Hold that sentence in your mind. Pour a glass of gentle water. Let it cool your beating center. Your story has its own time. When the floor. Coffee tastes a little sweeter than before. Song you loved but could not bear to play finds its way back into this new day. Heart still waits for sorrow like a train, listens for familiar tracks of pain. You just stand there with your shaking cup, wonder if you're somehow messing up. If a friend described this tender change, you would not call happiness a strange. You would say their sunrise finally came. It's okay to feel okay. You are not betraying yesterday. All the tears that brought you here still belong inside this year. It's okay to feel okay. Let your shoulders shift in a softer way. Nothing wrong with brighter skies filling up your steady eyes. The street, you laugh hard enough to lose your seat. Someone asks if everything is fine. You say yes and mean it this one time. Still a quiet worry in your chest, whispers that you owe the older mess, as if joy is something you must earn, as if peace is not your turn to learn. That story carried someone's name, you would sing the very same refrain. Tell them healing sometimes looks like light. It's okay to feel okay. You are not betraying yesterday. All the tears that brought you here still belong inside this year. It's okay to feel okay. Let your shoulders shift in a softer way. Nothing wrong with brighter skies filling up your steady eyes. Leave the old report card on the chair. Let the ink fade where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease, not the voice that says you must not please. Every time your laughter starts to rise, every time new color hits your eyes, you are reading signals from within, saying you can let this chapter in. It's okay to feel okay. Hold that sentence through the day. Pour a glass of simple water, offer it like quiet honor. It's okay to feel okay. When tomorrow finds its way, you can meet the morning air, knowing you are softer there. Sleepy eyes, lines of worry hiding thin disguise. Phone keeps buzzing on the bathroom shelf, little questions asking for your help. Heart feels quiet in the narrow light, half believing you are out of sight. You lean gently on the basin rim, wonder when your spark will turn this dim. If a friend stood here in the same view, you would list the gentle things they do. You would tell catch sight of your reflection there in the darkened corner of the air. Memories of all the times you waited for a call that never got created. Still you stayed when others needed holding, kept the fragile pieces from unfolding. If that story carried someone's name, you would sing the very same refrain. Call them loyal, tender, quietly bright. Point at how they carried bits of light. You were worth showing up for, like a room with open door, like a chair pulled by the window, waiting for your shadow's echo. You were worth showing up for, not just tasks and one more chore. Nothing changes that deep core. You are worth showing up for. Leave the shrinking story on the chair. Let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like peace, not the voice that will not ever cease. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every time you answer something small, you are hearing signals from within, saying you can let yourself walk in. You are worth showing up for. Hold that sentence at your core. Pour a glass of simple water, offer it like quiet honor. You are worth showing up for. When tomorrow taps your door, you can meet the morning floor, knowing what your heart is for. Morning mirror in the hallway light shows a face that made it through the night. Phone reflects a list of little failures, tiny notes from some imaginary jailer. Heartbeats quiet underneath your ribs. Every thought arrives with sharper ribs. You lean gently on the wooden frame, hearing every word that calls your name. If a friend stood here in this same place, you would guard the daylight on their face. You would tell them they are not that verdict, just a soul who always tries and learns it. You deserve a softer voice inside, one that holds you when you wanna hide, one that speaks like you would to another when they crumble under all the pressure. You deserve a kinder inner sound, something warm that meets you on the ground. Nothing asks you to endure this noise. You deserve a softer voice. Later at a desk beside the glass, coworker lets one quiet sentence pass. Says they feel like they are always failing, like their effort never reaches scaling. You remember nights you stayed beside them, called their steady presence something golden. You did not recite a list of errors, you just wrapped their heart from all the terrors. If that story carried now your name, you would sing the very same refrain. So you let that tenderness return. shoulders start to lower, every heartbeat landing just a little slower. You are hearing signals from within, saying you can let new words begin. You deserve a softer voice inside. Hold that sentence like a changing tide. Pour a glass of simple water near. Let it cool the corners of your fear. You deserve a kinder inner sound, something warm that meets you on the ground. When tomorrow starts to raise its noise, answer with that softer voice. Morning light softly on the sink. Slow steam rises from your single drink. Phone stays quiet on the wooden table. Nothing urgent pulling at your ankle. Heart moves easier than days before. Breath feels deeper near the kitchen door. You just stand and watch the shadows wander. Let the silence ask a simple wonder. If a friend described this kind of day, you would smile and softly say they may live like this without a loud story. Call it real, not lazy, not unworthy. A gentle life still counts. Every quiet, smaller ounce. Every slow and steady hour. Every unassuming flower. A gentle life still counts more than any noisy amount. Nothing less about your way when you move in softer gray. Later on a bench beside the lane, children chalk their castles in the rain. Old man feeds the birds along the railing, laughing when the crumbs go quickly sailing. Friend sits down and says they feel behind. Nothing flashy hanging in their mind. You remind them of the meals they handed to the ones whose evenings felt stranded. If that story carried now your name, you would hum the very same refrain. So you let the kindness circle through, touch the way you simply live as you. A gentle life still counts. Every quiet, smaller ounce. Every slow and steady hour. Every unassuming flower. A gentle life still counts more than any noisy amount. Nothing less about your way. You move in softer Leave the crowded scoreboard on the chair. Let the ink play where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like peace, not the voice that pushes without cease. Every time your shoulders start to drop, every time the spinning voices stop, you are hearing signals from within, pointing where your truer days begin. A gentle life still counts. Hold that sentence as it sounds. Pour a glass of clear cold water. Let it cool your inner border. A gentle life still counts. When tomorrow moves around, you can walk your usual street, knowing calm is still complete. You just watch the city slide in stripes. Wonder if you fit in any type. If a friend described this quiet doubt, you would help them breathe their story out. Tell them they can take up all this air just by standing here and being there. You belong in this moment, on this train, in this light, with your half-awakened heartbeat and your slightly shaking sight. You belong in this moment. You are not a borrowed guest. Every breath that finds your chest says you share this day with all the rest. Later in the lobby near the stairs, voices float through overlapping chairs. Coworkers trade polished weekend stories, shining trips and second-handed glories. You remember nights beside a friend when their world felt tilted at the end. You sat with them on a kitchen floor, made that small dim room a gentle shore. If that story carried now your name, you would sing the very same refrain. So you let that tenderness return, touch the places where your shyness burns. You belong in this moment, at this table, in this sound, with your quiet, careful questions and your feet on common ground. You belong in this moment. You are not outside the frame. Every time you say your name, you confirm you have a rightful claim. Leave the shrinking stories on the chair. Let their ink blur where they do not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like peace, not the chart that never thinks you cease. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every time you answer someone small, you are hearing messages within, pointing where your truer days begin. You belong in this moment. Hold that sentence in your mind. Pour a glass of simple water, offer it like something kind. You belong in this moment. When tomorrow paints the sky, you can meet the morning street, knowing you and it both qualify. Morning train pulls slowly from the station. People scroll through tiny celebrations. New promotions, keys to painted doorways. Smiling faces framed in golden hallways. Heart sinks slightly as the screen keeps sliding. All those moments feel like different timing. You stare out across the moving city. Ask yourself if you have missed your story. If a friend described this aching view, you would list the quiet things they do. How they hold a hand when storms are heavy. How their presence makes the ground feel steady. You are not falling behind, though the road may twist and kind. Every step you take still matters, even when the picture shatters. Ask your breathing what would feel like peace. Not the chart that never seems to cease. Every time your shoulders start to lower, every heartbeat landing just a little slower. You are hearing signals from within, showing where your truer days begin. You are not falling behind. Hold that sentence in your mind. Pour a glass of simple water, let it calm your inner border. You are not falling behind. When tomorrow draws its line, you can meet the morning light, knowing you are walking right high. Sections exactly, only put 4 inch in essence. You would say that buried constellations still can rise beyond their hesitation, still can rise beyond their hesitation. You are allowed to dream again, even after heavy rain. You can let a small idea walk beside your passenger. You are allowed to dream again, not the way it looked back then, just a softer glowing thread running through the life you choose. Are allowed to dream again, even after heavy rain. You can let a small idea walk beside your passenger. You are allowed to dream again, not the way it looked back then, just a softer glowing thread running through the life you tread. Later by the window near your kitchen, boiling water breathes a gentle rhythm. Neighbor waters plants along the railing. Colored leaves lean gladly to the daylight. You recall a season with a cousin when they swore their chances had departed. You could see new outlines in their sketches, long before they felt their hope restarted. If that memory carried now your name, you would sing the very same refrain. So you let that kindness change direction, turn its lantern towards your own reflection. You are allowed to dream again, even after heavy rain. You can let a small idea walk beside your passenger. You are allowed to dream again, not the way it looked back then, just a softer glowing thread running through the life you tread. Turn the strict old timeline to the wall, let the ticking soften down the hall. Ask your breathing what would feel like open, not the voice that treats your hope as broken. Every time your shoulders fall and loosen, every picture rising from confusion. You are reading signals from within, tracing where fresh chapters can begin. You are allowed to dream again. Hold that sentence like a friend. Pour a glass of simple water, let it cool your beating center. You are allowed to dream again. When tomorrow asks what then, you can answer with a spark, drawing colors through the dark. calculations, only valid with the right equation. You remember nights you sat beside them, told their tears were welcome where you were. You just matched the rhythm of their breathing, never asked their pain to be more pleasing. If that moment carried now your name, you would sing the very same refrain. So you send that gentle truth inside to the part that thinks it must divide. You are not a problem to solve. You are breath and you evolve. You are more than charts and measures, more than every filter pressure. You are not a problem to solve. You are oceans, you are salt. Nothing in your tender soul has to meet some perfect goal. Leave the harsh instructions on the chair. Let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like peace, not the voice that never seems to cease. Every time your shoulders start to loosen, every heartbeat landing with less tension, you are hearing signals from within saying you can let your life begin. You are not a problem to solve. Hold that sentence as you move. Pour a glass of simple water, let it stand for quiet proof. You are not a problem to solve. When tomorrow knocks again, you can meet the waking sky as a living soul, not a design. Morning light spills over tangled sheets, clothes still piled in yesterday's defeat. Sinkled cups from nights you could not cope. Phone shows texts you answer without hope. Heart remembers every raised up voice, every moment you disliked your choice. You walk slowly past the hallway mirror, see a face that feels a little dimmer. If a friend stood here with this same view, you would name the gentle good they do. You would say those heavy hurting hours do not cancel all their softer powers. You are not your worst days, not the words you wish you never said, not the mess upon the table, not the fears inside your head. You are not your worst days, even when they feel like all you see. There is more inside your story than the hardest memory. Later on a bus beside the park, raindrops race each other down the glass. You recall a cousin in a winter saying they were nothing but their temper, yet you watch them hold a shaking stranger, offer up a seat and quiet anchor. You could see the kindness in their gestures long before they trusted that same texture. If that memory carried now your name, you would sing the very same refrain. So you let that tender verdict fall on the part that thinks it ruins all. You are not your worst days, not the words you wish you never said, not the mess upon the table, not the fears inside your head. You are not your worst days, even when they feel like all you see. There is more inside your story than the hardest memory. Leave the harsh sentence when you shake. Pour a glass of simple water, let it ease the hidden ache. You are not your worst days. When tomorrow starts to rise, you can meet the morning window with the softer in your eyes. As the city moves in quick succession, you remember messages left waiting, nights you could not answer without shaking. Part of you believes those silent hours turned you into something wrong and sour. If a friend described this tangled fear, you would draw their shoulders gently near. You would tell them, even in their silence, someone still can see their hidden brightness. You are not hard to love, you are not too much to hold. Every tremble in your story still belongs in gentle arms. You are not hard to love, you are not a way to prove. Nothing in your honest heart makes it wrong to take that part. Later at a cafe by the street, steam curls upward from your shaky drink. Friend leans in and says they miss your presence. Wonder where you disappear so often. You confess you worry they feel burdened by the way your moods keep slowly turning. They look back with soft and steady eyes, say they never asked you to disguise. If that scene belonged to someone else, you would praise the care inside themselves. So you let that answer circle through till it rests on how you see you too. You are not hard to love, you are not too much to hold. Every tremble in your story still belongs in gentle arms. You are not hard to love, you are not a way to prove. Nothing in your honest heart makes it wrong to take that part. Leave the old opinion on the chair, let it sink, blur where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like trust, not the voice that calls your feelings too much. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every time you dare to tell it all, signals from within, saying you can let real closeness in. You are not hard to love. Hold that sentence in your chest. Pour a glass of simple water, offer it like quiet rest. You are not hard to love. When tomorrow starts to move, you can meet the morning light, knowing hearts can choose your morning light rests gently on the floor. Kettle hums behind the half-closed door. Phone lights turn face down beside the sink. Thoughts pile higher than the cups and drinks. Heart keeps running laps around the plans. Everything's still waiting for your hands. You just lean a shoulder on the wall, watching dust move slowly through it all. If a friend described this kind of star, you would guard the corners of their heart. Tell them they do not owe the sky any perfect reason why. Let yourself be here right now, with the questions you allow. Take a glass of simple water, feel it cool the inner border. Let yourself be here right now, with the silence and the sound. Nothing needs to disappear, so your presence counts as real. Later on a bench beside the tram, engines sigh along the metal span. Coworker admits they feel divided, halfway in and halfway undecided. You recall long evenings on the floor, holding someone worn from keeping score. You did not demand a brighter face, only shared a softer, slower space. If that story carried now their name, you would sing the very same refrain. So you let that kindness circle round, settle in your own unsettled ground. Let yourself be here right now, with the questions you allow. Take a glass of simple water, feel it cool the inner border. Let yourself be here right now, with the silence and the sound. Nothing needs to disappear, so your presence counts as real. Leave the crowded checklist on the chair. Let the ink drift where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease, not the voice that never seems to please. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every time you do not feel it all, you are hearing signals from within, pointing where a gentler day begins. Let yourself be here right now, hold that sentence like a vow. Pour a glass of simple water, offer it like quiet honor. Let yourself be here right now, when tomorrow comes around. You can meet the morning air, from a heart that knows it's there. teas and coffee balanced in the air. Phone lights up before you find your shoes. Every icon asks what you will choose. Heart beats quicker than the hallway clock. Thoughts move faster than the turning lock. Half of you just wants a slower start. Half already left your quiet heart. If a friend described this heavy spin, you would gently fold their shoulders and say the world can wait outside the door while they stand and breathe a moment more. Make some room for a quiet heart. Let one task fall off the chart. Fill a glass with simple water. Watch the sunlight bend the border. Make some room for a quiet heart where no scoreboard plays a part. Nothing breaks when plans depart. Just to hold that quiet heart. Shaking. Every deadline feels like ground is breaking. You remember evenings on the floor, sitting with a friend who could no more. All you offered was an open chair, steady breathing shared between the cares. If that story carried now their name, you would sing the very same refrain, so that gentleness returns tonight to the part that always holds too tight. Make some room for a quiet heart. Let one task fall off the chart. Fill a glass with simple water. Watch the sunlight bend the border. Make some room for a quiet heart where no scoreboard plays a part. Nothing breaks when plans depart. Just to hold that quiet heart. Leave the crowded planner on the chair. Let the ink drift where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease, not the voice that never seems to please. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every time you do not feel it all, signals rise from somewhere deep within, pointing where a softer day begins. Make some room for a quiet heart. Hold that sentence at the start. Pour a glass of simple water. Offer it like quiet honor. Make some room for a quiet heart. When the morning plays its part, step into the waking street with that gentle rhythm underneath. Check marks. All the rest feel like unfinished landmarks. Heart leans heavy on the kitchen counter. Eyes trace circles in the old gray marble. Part of you calls everything a failure. Part forgets how far you came from earlier. Describe the same slow climb. You would say they move through weather time. Every step through wind and scattered branches shows a kind of quiet living. Carafe what you've done just because it isn't one. Oh, close the harsh old scoreboard in your hand. Let the numbers loosen from their stand. Ask your breathing what would feel like softer, not the voice that says go faster, further. Every time your shoulders start to lower, every heartbeat landing slightly slower, signals rise from deeper, quieter places, marking all the not quite finished graces. Halfway still matters, hold that line. Pour some water, take your time. Let the glass rest on the counter like a tiny shining anchor. Halfway still matters when the dawn paints new questions on the lawn. Step into the waking air, knowing getting there is not the only there. Morning tram sighs softly through the street. Coffee trembles warm between your feet. Phone glows with a list of expectations. Every bubble carries implications. Heart feels like a crowded waiting room. Thoughts line up and fill the mental gloom. Part of you still tries to play composed. Part of you feels quietly exposed. If a friend described this hidden storm, hands that shake while acting mostly warm, gentle eyes that never ask for easing, words that please while every nerve is freezing. Permission to be human tonight, not a flawless moving light. Tired lungs still count as living, shaking hands still count as giving. Permission to be human tonight, let the mask slip out of sight. Nothing breaks for choosing real over polished borrowed steel. Later on a stairwell near the lifts, coworker unloads a stack of shifts, says their chest keeps buzzing like a cable. All their plans feel heavy, slightly fatal. Memory returns from last July, cousin on the floor without a sky. All that helped was sitting in the silence, matching breath instead of fixing tyrants. If that story held some stranger's name, heart would call their patience more than blame. Every tear that landed on that tile still would register as brave, not vile. Permission to be human tonight, not a flawless moving light. Tired lungs still count Every time the mind stops counting, all signals rise from somewhere deep within, marking where a softer night begins. Permission to be human tonight. Hold that sentence in the light. Pour a glass of simple water, offer it like quiet honor. Permission to be human tonight. When the sunrise thins the night, step into the waking street. Human, messy, still complete. Softly in the half-dark room, curtain edges glow with gentle bloom. Heart feels heavier than cotton sheets. Floor looks distant from your tangled feet. Phone keeps humming with the daily buzz. Little tasks that say remember us. Still a quiet hand reaches for the light, chooses not to disappear from sight. If a friend described this simple scene, you would call their courage bright and clean. Every time they rise from inner weather, you would say their steps are made of treasure. Small brave mornings keep the story going. Tiny choices shape a different day. Standing up with all your worries showing still counts more than staying far away. Small brave mornings count like quiet thunder, soft and steady under every fear. Nothing grand is needed for this wonder, just the fact that you are waking here. Later by the kettle in the kitchen, handshake slightly while the tap is running. Message waiting from a gentle person, asking how your pulse and thoughts are turning. Thumb moves slowly over keys and letters, writes a truth instead of something better. Not a speech, just a day feels heavy still. Sent across the fragile windowsill. If another shared that tiny line, you would call their honesty a sign. Every word that lets their guard get thinner marks a kind of unexpected winner. Small brave mornings keep the story going. Tiny choices shape a different day. Standing up with all your worries showing still counts more than staying far away. Small brave mornings count like quiet keep the story going. Hold that thought inside your chest today. Pour a glass of simple water slowly. Watch the ripples settle where they stay. Small brave mornings count like quiet thunder. When the next sun finds you waiting here, step into the hallway with that wonder, knowing courage brought your footsteps here. Morning train leans slowly from the gate. Metal doors reflect your hidden weight. Phone glows with a list of tiny favors. Every bubble tugging at your labor. Heart beats quicker than the station noise. Shoulders tighten over borrowed joys. Part of you keeps answering on cue. Part forgets the kindness due to you. If a friend described this crowded day, you would help them put one load away. Tell them they can save a piece of care for the one who always has been there. Carry kindness back to yourself like a letter on a shelf. Open when the world grows louder, folded round a softer center. Carry kindness back to yourself, not as prize or measured wealth. Nothing breaks if some of that love returns to where you stand. Later at a window by the stairs, coworker stares down a stack of cares. Says they feel like nothing more to give, yet they still hold space for how you live. Memory drifts to nights beside a cousin, when their hope felt thin and barely running. Every time they asked for one small favor, you showed up and offered steady labor. If that story carried now their name, you would sing the very same refrain. So you let that verdict change its course, turn its gentle light toward your source. Carry kindness back to yourself like a letter on a shelf. Open when the world grows louder, folded round a softer center. Carry kindness back to yourself, not as prize or measured wealth. Nothing breaks if some of that love returns to where you stand. Leave the endless checklist on the chair. Let the ink drift where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like peace, not the voice that never gives release. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every time you do not feel it all, signals rise from somewhere deep within, pointing where a gentler turn begins. Carry kindness back to yourself. Hold that promise like a bell. Pour a glass of simple water, let it cool your hidden quarter. Carry kindness back to yourself. When tomorrow calls for help, you can answer from a heart tended by your patient part. Dust floats slowly in a gentle line. Mug sits cooling on the bedside book. Pages open where you last could look. Messages stay waiting on the screen. Plans postponed from what they used to mean. Bare feet are resting on the wooden floor. Breath moves softer than the day before. If a friend described this kind of day, hands not ready for a busy way. Words will rise to hold their smaller pace. Call this simple moment still a grace. This kind of quiet is enough, even when the scene looks rough. Changing sheets instead of mountains counts as movement through this hour. This kind of quiet is enough. Lighting candles after doubt. Nothing grand is needed now, just this gentle here and now. Later at a corner laundromat, warm air humming through the metal racks. Stranger folds a faded yellow shirt, mutters softly how their week still hurts. You trade stories over spinning drums, share the weight that never quite succumbs. No big rescue, only listening eyes. Still the room feels slightly redefined. If that scene belonged to someone else, heart would praise the care they quietly dealt. Every nod that lets a story land marks a tender courage close at hand. This kind of quiet is enough, even when the scene looks rough. Cooking rice instead of wonders counts as living through this hour. This kind of quiet is enough. Answering one call, not a crowd. Nothing grand is needed now, just this gentle here and now. Turn the crowded schedule face down flat. Let the ink blur where it cannot act. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease, not the marching order no one needs. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every step that does not fill it all, signals rise from deeper steady ground, marking how a softer life is found. This kind of quiet is enough. Hold that sentence when it's tough. Pour a glass of simple water, let the cool edge touch your mouth. This kind of quiet is enough. when the morning comes again. Walk the hallway, touch the radio.